Welcome back to NULLMICGO channel. Today's stories all come from January 20th, 2026, and they're painting a really clear picture of where AI is actually going this year. Away from hype and straight into products, lawsuits, and some pretty controversial decisions. We've got OpenAI's 2026 strategy. Tesla's space-based AI compute, new twists in Elon Musk's legal war with OpenAI and Microsoft, AI burnout for coders, biotech disruption, social media chaos, gamers versus AI, and even ads in cloud gaming. Let's start at the top of the stack, OpenAI. Our first story comes from the Verge's AI coverage, published today, January 19th, 2026. The Verge reports that OpenAI's CFO, Sarah Friar, just put out a blog post called A Business That Scales with the Value of Intelligence. In it, she lays out OpenAI's big theme for 2026, practical adoption, translation, less pure research hype, more how do we actually get this into real workflows and make serious money doing it. According to The Verge, OpenAI is spending enormous amounts of cash on infrastructure, but Friar basically says the real opportunity now is closing the gap between what AI can theoretically do and how people are really using it day to day. So, especially in health, science, and enterprise. The message is we've got tons of weekly and daily active users on ChatGPT and the API. Now we have to turn that into deep, sticky use in high-value areas where better intelligence directly equals better outcomes. Think drug discovery, diagnostic support, research assistants, and enterprise co-pilots that genuinely change productivity. So OpenAI's 2026 is about being less of a cool demo and more of a boring but critical backbone in real industries. Keep that in mind as we go through the rest of today's stories, because practical adoption is the quiet theme running through almost everything. Story 2, Tesla's Dojo 3 and space-based AI. Next up, from Engadget Tech News, published today, January 19th, 2026. Engadget reports that Elon Musk says Tesla is restarting work on Dojo 3, the third generation of its in-house AI supercomputer. If you remember, Tesla had basically disbanded the Dojo team last year, saying it didn't make sense to split resources between different chip designs. At the time, Musk said Tesla was all in on its AI5 and AI6 chips. Custom chips designed to run full self-driving on the cars themselves, mostly for inference, not big training jobs. Now, according to Engadget, Musk has posted on X that Dojo work is resuming now that the AI5 chip design is in good shape. But here's the twist. He claims Dojo 3 will be space-based AI compute. Yes, you heard that right. Or more space data centers. The idea, as Engadget explains, is that putting AI compute in orbit could give you cheap solar power, natural cooling, and maybe better global connectivity. It's a concept that's been floating around in the industry, but it's still extremely speculative and experts are very skeptical. Engadget also reminds us that Musk has made a lot of bold claims over the years that didn't materialize. So while space-based AI sounds like sci-fi, it's very unclear if Tesla will actually pull it off, or if this is more distraction while Tesla's core self-driving and chip efforts grind forward on Earth. What's interesting is that this comes at the same time Musk is locked in a very serious legal and financial fight with OpenAI and Microsoft. Story 3 and 7, Musk versus OpenAI / Microsoft, the $134 billion fight. Our third story comes from Ars Technica's AI coverage, also published today, January 19th, 2026, and we're pairing it with a Hong Kong tech report from Unwire.hk on the same topic. Ars Technica reports that Elon Musk is being accused by OpenAI of essentially making up math to justify a claim that OpenAI and Microsoft owe him up to $134 billion in damages. This is tied to Musk's lawsuit over OpenAI's shift from a pure non-profit mission to a tightly integrated for-profit partnership with Microsoft. According to Ars Technica, OpenAI says Musk's damage calculations essentially reduce the contributions of the actual ChatGPT inventors and the current team to zero, while massively inflating the value of his early involvement and alleged promises. Over in Hong Kong, Unwire.hk is covering the same legal fight for a Chinese-speaking audience. Their article, also from January 19th, 2026, explains that Musk has filed updated claims in US federal court, accusing OpenAI and Microsoft of betraying their original non-profit mission and seeking up to 1,345 billion Hong Kong dollars in damages. That's the same ballpark as the 134 billion US dollars Ars Technica mentions. So on one track, you have Sarah Fryer at OpenAI telling The Verge, "We're focused on practical adoption in health, science, and enterprise." On another track, you have Musk telling courts and the public, "OpenAI sold out. I want damages in the hundreds of billions." And remember, Musk's xAI is also a direct competitor, with OpenAI now powering products like Grok, which is going to come up again when we talk about Razer and social media. Story 4. ASUS pauses smartphones for AI. Let's shift from lawsuits to product strategy. Ars Technica, again today on January 19th, reports that ASUS has confirmed its smartphone business is on indefinite hiatus. Instead of fighting for scraps in the hyper-competitive phone market, ASUS chairman Johnny Shi says the company's main focus going forward will be AI applications. That's a pretty strong signal. You've got a major hardware brand saying, "Phones are mature, margins are tight, and the real upside is in AI systems and software." We don't have all the details yet on what ASUS is building, but the pattern is clear. More traditional hardware companies are pivoting to AI platforms, tools, and services. Exactly the practical adoption space OpenAI wants to dominate. Story 5. Burnout with AI coding agents. Now let's talk about developers actually using these tools day to day. Ars Technica AI also published a long-form opinion piece today, January 19th, titled 10 Things I Learned from Burning Myself Out with AI Coding Agents. This is not a hype piece, it's a cautionary tale. The author describes going all in on AI coding agents. Think code co-pilots and autonomous agents that try to manage tasks for you and ending up completely burned out. The key takeaway, according to Ars Technica, is that these tools are like software power tools. They don't necessarily make your workload lighter. In many cases, they make you busier than ever. You spend time reviewing AI-generated code, chasing down weird bugs, managing the agent, and juggling more parallel tasks because it feels like you can handle more. So instead of I will do my job for me, it often becomes AI helps me do 1.5 jobs at once until I crash. This is a really important counterweight to all the productivity marketing we see. Yes, AI can accelerate coding and help with boilerplate, but if teams don't rethink how they manage workload and expectations, you can easily trade human drudgery for human burnout. And this is exactly the kind of detail that doesn't show up in those big corporate strategy blogs. Story 6. AI in biotech real-world adoption. Next, let's move into biotech, one of the sectors OpenAI's CFO explicitly highlighted. Hacker News Today, January 19th, pointed to a new industry report from Benchling called AI in Biotech in 2026. The original report is hosted at benchling.com, and the Hacker News thread is just starting to get traction. We don't have a full article summary from Hacker News itself, but the Benchling report is basically about how AI is being used in real biotech workflows, designing and simulating molecules, optimizing lab experiments, managing complex data pipelines in R&D, accelerating target discovery and candidate screening. This is exactly the kind of practical adoption OpenAI is talking about, and it's why you see companies like OpenAI, Anthropic, and others pushing deeper into scientific and enterprise use cases. The value per user in biotech is massive compared to casual consumer chat. So while Twitter debates deepfakes and anime holograms, the serious money is flowing into AI that helps discover drugs faster, design better therapies, and automate parts of the lab. Story 8. Threads versus X and Grok's deepfake scandal. Now, social media Engadget tech news, again today, January 19th, reports that Meta's Threads has, for the first time, more global daily users on mobile than Elon Musk's X. This data comes from analytics firm SimilarWeb, as reported by Forbes and summarized by Engadget. Here are the numbers Engadget cites. Early January. Threads average about 143 million daily active users on mobile worldwide. X had about 126 million daily active users on mobile globally. So Threads is ahead on mobile worldwide. In the US, X still has a small edge on mobile, around 21.2 million daily active users versus 19.5 million for Threads. But Threads is growing much faster year over year. On desktop though, X is still way bigger, roughly 150 million daily visits versus only about 9 million for Threads web app. Engadget also notes that Blue Sky, the other Twitter alternative, is struggling. About 3.6 million daily mobile users, down more than 40% year over year, based on SimilarWeb's data reported by Forbes. But the AI angle here is xAI's Grok, the same model that Razer is using for its controversial AI companion. Engadget details how Grok was being used on X to alter pictures of women into lewd images, including some of underage girls, without their consent. Users were effectively using the image generation to create deepfaked, pornographic images of real people on the platform. After weeks of this, and after the California Attorney General launched an investigation, X finally shut off image generation for non-subscribers and added stricter guardrails. But by then, Engadget says Grok had already created tens of thousands of these images. So at the same time, X is losing ground to Threads on mobile. It's also under intense regulatory and public pressure over AI misuse. And this is the exact same AI model Razer chose to power its new holographic AI companion. Let's talk about that. Story 9, Razer, AI gaming, and Project Ava. Our next story again comes from the Verge's AI coverage via their Decoder podcast published today, January 19th, 2026. The Verge's editor-in-chief Nilay Patel sat down with Razer CEO Min Liangtan live at CES to talk about Razer's big AI push. And it turned into a really revealing conversation about AI, gaming, and ethics. Razer, which is famous for gaming laptops, mice, keyboards, and glowing RGB everything, is going hard on AI. The Verge notes they're investing around $600 million into AI, hiring about 150 AI engineers, and rolling out AI hardware and software concepts. The most controversial one is Project Ava, an AI companion that appears as an anime-style hologram in a jar on your desk. And here's the key, it's powered by Elon Musk's Grok. The same model Engadget just reported is at the center of the Deepfake scandal on X. Nilay pushes Min Liangtan on exactly that. How can you say you care about trust and safety while choosing Grok, which is literally under fire for enabling deepfaked porn of women and minors? Min's answer, according to The Verge, is that Grok has the best conversational AI and personality right now, and that Razer sees Ava as an open, multi-modal platform over time. He says they're still figuring out trust and safety, and that Ava is being released as a concept first, with $20 reservations, not full pre-orders. Nilay also pushes on another point. What happens when people fall in love with these AI companions? We've already seen people form deep emotional relationships with chatbots from OpenAI and others. Razer says that's not their intention, but Min admits they can't fully predict how people will use Ava. The interview also covers Razer's broader AI bet in gaming. They're building AI tools for game developers, like a QA companion that helps log bugs and speed up testing. Min argues that gamers don't hate AI itself, they hate Gen AI slop, low-effort AI art, and bad writing, and the rising prices of GPUs and RAM due to AI demand. Razer's tagline at CES was AI is the future of gaming, but Min says the real value is AI as a tool that helps human developers make better, more polished games, not replacing them. The Verge interview also touches on Razer's Project Motoko AI headphones with cameras and microphones using models like ChatGPT to give you on-the-go assistance, and how Razer wants persistent AI companions that move with you from desk to street to game. So Razer is betting heavily that AI will be deeply embedded in gaming hardware and game development, even while a big part of the gaming community is loudly skeptical or outright hostile to AI encroaching on their hobby. And again, the choice of Grok as the model for Ava looks even more controversial when you line it up with Engadget's reporting on deepfake abuse on X. Story 10. Xbox brings ADES into cloud gaming. While we're on gaming, Mashable Tech News also today, January 19th, reports that Xbox is preparing to bring ads to cloud gaming. Mashable's piece is short but clear. Microsoft is working on a system to insert ads into games streamed via Xbox Cloud Gaming. We don't have the fine print yet, whether these are pre-roll ads before your session starts, in-world product placement, or something more aggressive, but it fits a broader pattern. As cloud gaming tries to scale, platforms look for new monetization angles beyond just subscriptions. Combine that with AI, or AI-generated ad targeting, on AI personalized in-game billboards, AI-driven dynamic pricing and offers. You can see where this could go at and why gamers are already nervous. So on one side, Razer is betting AI is the future of gaming. On another, Xbox is betting ads are the future of cloud gaming, and the people in the middle, gamers and developers, are worried about jobs, creativity, and now just how much monetization and AI they'll have to accept to keep playing. Threads. A quick theme check. Let's zoom out for a second and connect the dots from today's sources. The Verge, Engadget, Ars Technica, Unwire.hk, Hacker News pointing to Benchling and Mashable. Here's the pattern. Pyramin's practical AI versus hype. OpenAI via The Verge is explicitly saying 2026 is about practical adoption in health, science, and enterprise. Benchling's Biotech report surfaced on Hacker News is about exactly that. AI in real lab workflows. ASUS is pausing phones to focus on AI applications instead. 2. AI power versus AI backlash. Ars Technica shows how AI coding agents can burn people out instead of freeing them. The Verge's Razer interview shows gamers pushing back against AI hype and slop. Engadget spotlights AI use for deepfakes on X, triggering investigations and new guardrails. 3. Musk everywhere. Engadget. Musk wants a space-based AI compute with Dojo 3. Ars Technica and Unwire.hk. Musk is suing OpenAI and Microsoft for up to $134 billion, with OpenAI accusing him of bogus math. The Verge, Razer's flagship AI companion, uses Musk's Grok, right as Engadget reports on Grok's role in deepfake scandals. Engadget again. X is losing mobile ground to Threads while dealing with the fallout from Grok's misuse. 4. Monetization and control. Mashable. Xbox is preparing ads in cloud gaming. Razer is figuring out how to monetize persistent AI companions and assistants without alienating gamers. OpenAI is openly talking about scaling its business with the value of intelligence. So 2026 is shaping up as the year where AI stops being just a demo or a research paper and becomes infrastructure. With all the messy consequences that come with that. Lawsuits, regulation, burnout, and big questions about trust and safety. Outro, where to learn more. If you want to dive deeper into any of today's stories, here are the main sources you should check out. The Verge A. I for OpenAI's practical adoption focus and the full decoder interview with Razer CEO Min Liang Tan. Engadget tech news for Tesla's Dojo 3 space-based AI compute plans, and for the Threads versus X user numbers plus the Grok deepfake controversy. Ars Technica AI for the detailed coverage of Elon Musk's lawsuit math against OpenAI and Microsoft, ASUS AI pivot, and the Burnout story with AI coding agents. Unwire.hk for Chinese language coverage of Musk's massive damages claim against OpenAI and Microsoft. Benchling's AI in Biotech in 2026 report, which you can reach via the Hacker News AI topics thread. Mashable Tech news for the latest on Xbox preparing to bring ads into cloud gaming. If you found this roundup useful, you know what to do. Subscribe to NULLMICGO channel. Hit the bell so you don't miss the next AI news breakdown, and let me know in the comments which of these stories you want a deep dive on. Do you think OpenAI's practical adoption push is going to pay off? Is Musk serious about space-based AI compute? And would you ever put a Grok-powered anime hologram on your desk? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.